Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to the show. It's WoW Wednesday, the program where we discuss one of my favorite addictions, World of Warcraft. Now, last week's episode and the one before delved into things I'm not excited for and things I'm worrying about. So, keeping things lively and fresh, this week I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to change up the program, see how it goes. This week we're discussing the top 10 things I still enjoy about the World of Warcraft. Let's dive right into it. Number 10, old raids and dungeons. Not surprisingly, I enjoy the past far more than the current day within the bounds of Azeroth. God's how I wish they wouldn't force you into the new content every expansion, but that's a video for another time. But even in forcing you to participate in the new content, at least the old content's still there. From gigantic epic raids like Molten Core to more personal journeys like my wife and I two-manning Dawn of the Infinite. I've still felt a sense of what I did back when those things were current, or more current-ish. The same sense of grandeur and nuance that I find lacking these days is still there, waiting to be rediscovered. And that's not even touching on the things you can find in these old raids. Recipes for professions, like the one the wife and I ran Sunwell for a billion times trying to get to drop. Old legendaries like Thunder Fury and Hand of Ragnaros and all that. All kinds of stuff. But it's really the feeling these places evoke that brings me back to them and has me not quite ready to let go of the world of Warcraft. Number 9, the Elflands. When I started playing, I believed the propaganda and stay away from the horde races. That's obviously changed quite a bit. But I tried out a couple humans, found it boring. And, if you're playing a fantasy RPG, why are you playing a human? Whatever. Then I tried out the Night Elves. What I was really blown away with was the beauty and the music of Teldrassil, Ashenvale, etc. I still get chills leveling a new tune there or just revisiting. Night Song in particular, it goes right through me. And it's so damn beautiful. But also Eversong and Suramar, all the Elflands hit me in places not much else does, and it's worth mentioning that I still get that feeling now, going on 20 years later. When WoW does it right, they do it damned right. Number 8, archaeology. I love this profession. Introduced all the way back in the Cataclysm expansion, I have been grinding archaeology nodes on many tunes throughout the years. It still hasn't gotten old. It's got that wow random factor to it that I'm never quite sure what's going to pop out of these nodes or what's going to populate in the tab when I'm working on various new artifact pieces because I've never researched. I've never looked up everything you can get, so it's still very new to me, no matter where I am or where I'm doing. And that's kept this ancient profession, which has been entirely abandoned by Blizz, mind you, fresh and interesting in my mind. Sure, it's a bit of a mental trickery to keep something fun, but like Sheryl Crow said, if it makes me happy, it can't be that bad, right? Moving on. Number 7, Karazhan. I have been obsessed with the Tower of the Guardian since I stumbled across it screwing around on the path out of Duskwood. It took some creative wall crawling and dodging of high level buzzards, but I discovered the tower way before I was supposed to. The blasted landscape of Deadwood Pass, the ravines etched into the earth, all reminded me of Transylvania or something like that. So naturally, I poked my nose further in to see what's there, and I found Karazhan. Reading up on the locale only made things worse. A convergence of ley lines built before even recorded history, haunted by ghosts of past occupants where time and reality are subjective concepts sitting atop a literal mountain of books and arcane secrets. Yes, please. When the location was finally opened up as a raid, I was among the first of the casuals on my server that busted my hump to get into a raiding guild and get in there. Never got a Tuman's Mount, if you're wondering, despite running it 10,000 times at least. Whatever. I saw it once, but I lost the roll, so I was like, yeah, whatever. Now, for me, it was just being there that was the joy. I still love that place. I could spend hours just RP walking around in there, watching the ghosts, wondering what all the books are for, and so on. It's amazing. I love it. Number 6, transmog. Fashion is everything. And those of you who know don't need me to explain. Those of you who don't, well, you're missing out. Transmog is the true in-game of WoW. Never more true than this expansion. When there's nothing to do and you need to shake up the image in front of you, it's time to hit the wardrobe. A fresh new look can turn the entire game around, which leads into number 5, Trial of Style. Introduced in patch 725, I dismissed Trial of Style as a waste of time for its, entire existence until now. Like all activities in the game, I eventually get curious about what all the fuss is and I dip a toe in the pool. I tried my first Trial of Style just a couple months ago and it melted my brain. You get actual rewards, which you can buy more transmog pieces with just by being rated by others. I couldn't comprehend this. What was this madness? I found the prompts fun and engaging, especially the silly ones, and really enjoyed the very social group activity. It's nice to interact with others. It's nice to engage again without the backdrop of worrying about game mechanics. And it's awesome seeing all the mogs people come up with. If you haven't tried it, you should. And it still blows my mind. There are rewards. That's a cherry on top right there. But anyway, number 4, alts. I could argue this higher, but for the things it's displacing, it's got to be down to number 4. I mean, this is the number 1 activity I engage in every time I log in. Not even close. Basically, I look at it like this: these tunes, these personas, they're action figures. Just like when you collect Star Wars figures or Justice League or Marvel, Transformers, these are exactly the same. Yeah, I got Optimus, but do I have black and gray Optimus? Dang it, I gotta get that. The same thing applies here. Yeah, I got 30 plus warriors, but do I have a Nightborn warrior? Dang it, I gotta get that. Alts have kept me subbed far, far longer than I ever should have, and I don't see that changing, even if, as I suspect they will, they abandon creating any new races or classes for the next 2 expansions, but we'll see. Number 3, Dragonflight. I don't want this video to devolve into a mega thread of all the reasons I love Dragonflight, so I'll keep this brief. Dragonflight came at a time when I was absolutely done with retail WoW. I'd unsubbed, I'd walked away, and I was happily enjoying playing my little tunes either via pencil and paper or via private servers. In my mind, there was nothing at all on Earth that could ever get me back to WoW. I'd made that profound of a break, finally. Then I saw the cinematic. I've rarely ever openly cheered for a character before, but I was cheering for Stone Guy to light the beacon so the dragons could find their way home. I got choked up when he fell. This selfless sacrifice, it went right through me. And then spoilers, when Alex Strauss caught him, I was beside myself. I was inconsolable. Dragonflight for me was about hope. It was a big ol' apology to a fan base that, for me, had been shit on for 20 years. It brought back talents, it reintroduced recipes that had been lost, it gave new ways to get hard to get old mogs, it revamped professions in a way that blew my mind, and the story was damned good. Maybe the best, in my opinion, in all of WoW. It was that good that it got me back. And it remains so good that I can waste time in this past expansion and feel very fulfilled, very happy indeed. But anyway, number 2, Outland. It's only because I thought of a better number 1 that this in particular isn't number 1. The Burning Crusade expansion came to me at a time when my life had utterly collapsed, and I was in a profoundly bad way. It gave me something to do with my hands. It kept my mind occupied and distracted from the horror show the rest of my life had become. And it was fascinating. Ethereals and brown orcs and demons everywhere and Draenei ruins and on and on. And I loved every place I explored, every secret I uncovered. I loved getting snuck up on by the Fell Reaper. That son of a bitch. I love that there were finally warglaves in the damn game. I've been trying to find that weapon model since I started playing. And the music still goes right through me when I hear it every time. Especially Hellfire Peninsula. Seeing that chaotic cosmic outlet sky above me with the wisps of ether and great dark beyond. Man, the Black Temple, all of it. There's no confusion why it's my number 1 pick to time walk my alts on. I mean, yeah. And finally, number 1, the moment we've all been waiting for. The glimmer of hope for things to come. This This had been driven out of me not so very long ago. I loved vanilla. I became deeply emotionally attached to the Burning Crusade. I loved half of Wrath of the Lich King. Then with Kata, things started souring. It became obvious Blizz had shifted their people away from this game and just started churning out whatever they could get away with. But I hung on. Myst surprised me. I took a crap on it when it first launched, but by the end of it, I was posting a big thank you thread on the WoW forums, eating my words and proclaiming Myst had one of the best overarching stories yet. And I still stand by that. Although these days I wouldn't dare post anything on the official forums. My God, that place is absolutely vicious. Only the very masochistic stray there. But anyway, I enjoyed the launch of Warlords and not much else. I got my face ground off during Legion. My gods, that was a grindy X-Pack. I really started to rant and fume during Battle for Azeroth. Illusions were gone and I was really starting to rage. First step in breaking an abusive relationship, I figure. Shadowlands sealed the deal. I recognized this game was abusive. It wasn't for me. I was not the target audience. I needed to sever the relationship of almost 2 decades and move on. Gods, that sucked. But I did it. I played for a little bit and finally broke the cycle. Unsubbed. And then Dragonflight came. Like I said, it gave so much back. The entire storyline felt like an apology aimed right at me. We're sorry we've been shitting on you for decades. Here, have everything back we took from you and more. Have respect from us. Have heartfelt storylines you actually get choked up about. Have our sincerest thanks you're still playing. Have some incredibly fun activities you can enjoy over and over. Soup? I couldn't believe it. I don't come from a world where apologies are given all that often. This was something else. So, I was back. I was eager and terrified for things to come. The War Within let me know Dragonflight was an absolute and total fluke. That somehow real human beings with brains and souls had taken the wheel of the game and that was never intended. Right back to the soulless edgelord nonsense, the chosen one crap, right back to watching other characters' stories where I do all the heavy lifting and have no point in being there. Back to things being taken away. And hell, now we don't even have original content. Nearly everything introduced in War Within has felt overwhelmingly like copy pasta material, because they fired every actual employee and they're running on 8 unplayed interns. Okay, chilly out. You see how worked up I get? Because I still have that glimmer of hope. Because of Vanilla, because of the Burning Crusade, because of Pieces of Wrath and Mists, and especially Dragonflight. They can do great things. Things that make me happy. It's just a question of will they? 90% of the time I want to say nah. But there's always that glimmer. That tiny little glimmer that had died out during BFA and Shadowlands and got brought back to flaring life with Dragonflight. And as stupid as it is, I love that I'm still kid enough to look forward to the unknown, to see what's in the box. It might be Dragonflight. It's probably Gwyneth Paltrow's head, but there's still that glimmer. Boys, if you get that reference. Anyhow, that's all I got. I hope you all enjoy that slightly more positive look at the addiction I just can't kick. At least for now, we'll see if Midnight offers anything at all, which it's shaping up to absolutely not be the case. But that's all I got for you today. I do thank you for tuning in on your way out. If I've entertained you, might I impose upon you for a like? And if you're enjoying my content, feel free to subscribe, ring that bell icon. I'll let you know when I post new videos, which is fairly often. Thanks again to everyone who spared me a moment of your time, all those folks who's joined us on this YouTube journey by subscribing. Now, it's Wednesday. Don't despair. We're on the downhill of the work week. Make sure you drink some water, roll some dice, read some comics, watch some cartoons, enjoy a movie, do something fun. And as always, have a good one.